Hello and welcome to Kerbal Space Programming, a new series where I attempt to learn how to program in Python by launching rockets using the kRPC mod. The objective is that everything in this playthrough will be done without using the manual controls, with the small exception of when Kerbals are on EVA, but everything else will be controlled directly by Python. Now, I've played a bit of KSP before, though not for several years now, but I have absolutely zero experience of coding in Python. So if you're hoping to see a polished, well-structured approach to coding Python, then you have come to precisely the wrong place. There are going to be a lot of mishaps, and it's very likely that some Kerbals will not survive the endeavour, but that's a sacrifice that I am willing to make if it results in a modest improvement in my Python coding abilities. The first objective we have is simple: launch Jeb into space and return him to the surface, ideally in one piece. Seems like a simple goal, right? Well, spoiler alert, not so simple when you, like me, have no idea what you're doing. All the footage in this series is from a regular stream I do on Twitch, and the links to my Twitch channel are in the description. Enough talking, let's get into it. We're going to start a new game, and the game, or well, it's going to be a career first of all. So there's three options in Kerbal Sandbox where you've got everything unlocked. Science, which is purely science-based, purely about gathering science to unlock the tech tree. Then there's career, which means that you also have to manage your funds, your reputation, and your science gathering. Career is the hardest setting. It's the most involved setting. What better way to play through with a complete lack of coding knowledge than by setting it to the hardest setting? So we're going to go with that. And the company name, the rocketry company name that I've gone with, or that I'm going to go with, is Stage Separation Anxiety Inc. Flag, we're going to use this, which I have immediately noticed is off-center. Flip. Okay, that's frustrating. That's very frustrating. Okay, we're going to have to sort that later. Anyway, let's get into it. Right, what does this say? Right, that's an upgrade thing. Okay, so you can upgrade as part of career mode, you can upgrade the different facilities to get more kind of capability. You can get a proper... Oh, I can't go there because I haven't built a rocket yet, but the launch pad as it exists now, it's basically just a hole on the floor. Yeah, but you can later on update it, upgrade it, and turn it into kind of a proper launch pad. So that's all to come. For now, we're going to go into VAB, and we're going to very, very simply create a new rocket, and I'm going to use the trusty Mark 1 command pod, which is just a standard kind of, I don't know, Apollo-esque command pod with my off-center flag on the back. God, it's everywhere. That is so annoying. Okay, enough about that. And we're just going to launch it. In fact, no, I need to name this. I'm going to call it something that's going to inspire confidence in my investors, in the public, and in Jeb, the hapless inhabitant of my command pod. I'm going to call this Death Trap 1. And I can save Death Trap 1, my highly complex rocket, and then I can launch Death Trap 1. So, what's the point of launching a command pod that has no rocket, fuel, anything attached to it? Jeb is just sitting in a metal can on a slab of concrete. So what's the point? I'm clearly not going to get to space with this. The point is that we're just going to do a few initial checks. So I'm going to switch view to the mixed picture-in-picture style view that I've got going here, and I'm going to navigate to VS Code. So you can see here I've sort of cheated a little bit in that I have already done a little bit of a test, and you can see that actually, and I'm so glad this is still here because it speaks to my general level of maturity. You can see that the test name that I've used for previous rockets is poop rocket. So there you go. So this is my connection test script, and this ultimately is to make sure that kRPC is functioning correctly, speaking to Kerbal Space Program correctly. So I'm going to press play, and sorry, play. It looks like a play button. Idiot. I'm going to press run, and if this works, I should see it say Death Trap 1 down here. Ah, and it does. There we go. Mission accomplished. I'm basically a professional programmer already. So now we get into the meat of the challenge, which is, as I mentioned, to send Jeb into space. So, first things first, I'm going to need a ship. So we're going to revert, I'll tell you what, I'll put Kerbal back up, and we're going to revert this flight, and we're going to go back to the vehicle assembly building. And we're going to strap some rockets to Jeb. Except we're not going to do that. Well, actually, no, we can. Okay, so actually, this is a consequence of career mode. We've got one rocket, and it's a solid fuel rocket, which means that once you've lit it, you can't unlight it. You can't throttle control it. You can't actually do anything with it other than light the torch and sit back and see what happens. Yeah, okay. We're going to have to make do with what we've got. The other thing that I noticed that we don't have is any other parachutes other than the Mark 16. And the Mark 16, I'm just going to bloat it in because the Mark 16 basically fits on the nose cone here. So I think we're pretty much restricted to this configuration. So we're going to go back to the launch pad now. Here we are. So I'm going to do a new file, and I'm going to call it launch. Very original. Launch dot I can't call it that. Let's call it first launch dot py. Right. So first launch dot py, man, so inventive. First things first, as before, import kRPC. Okay. Good. Con equals kRPC.connect. And I think we'll just go with that. Oh, cool, I can double tab and it just fills that in. This is some, I guess this is like, I don't know, is this like built-in AI type suggestion? I've got Copilot free. Is this something I've added previously? I really should know whether I've added this myself, but I don't. So I'm just going to carry on. But yeah, it looks like it sort of auto suggests stuff, which I'm sure is going to come in very handy. So again, I think we need vessel equals con dot space center. So this feels to me like it's like layering. It's sort of like layering functions. I think what I could write, vessel.autopilot dot engage. I think autopilot is going to be the SAS system. If the A stands for autopilot, then we're in business. Vessel autopilot, target pitch and heading 9090. Right, vessel.autopilot. Right, let's just fill that out and let's see what this is saying. So target pitch and heading. is clearly one of the options that come up. Okay, so when you've got so that's SAS there. So SAS sits within autopilot. SAS sits within autopilot, right? Target pitch and heading, target direction, target roll, target pitch, target. I don't know if I need heading. I feel like target pitch 90 should be. I think that should be fine. Because pitch is surely just pitch, yeah. Pitch is like nose up. Pitch is going to be nose up in the rocket. So if pitch is at 90, then I'm going to take that to mean it's 90 degrees to horizontal, so that should be straight up. And then heading, I don't really know what heading is, and that's worrying. That worries me. That worries me a bit. But we're going to go with target pitch, I think. And we'll I feel very confident about that. Right, fuck it, we're going to go with that. Vessel dot, let's see what else we can do, because that's setting our direction. I guess that's saying we're going to go up. Okay, fine. But we need to light the rocket. We need to light the touch paper on that solid booster, of which we have no control once it's lit. We need to light it, and we need to... Yeah, so... Control throttle equals 1. Okay. Vessel control throttle equals 1. Then, what we need to do, I think, is we need to fire. I guess it's going to be vessel again, right? It's going to be vessel.control dot activate next stage. Simple. This is so easy. And then we need to work out when we're going to fire the parachute. So how are we going to do that? The rocket's going to go up and it's going to reach apoapsis, which is the highest point in the sort of suborbital trajectory that the rocket's going to be on. And at that point, when it hits apoapsis, I guess the velocity is going to drop to 0. And if the velocity drops to 0, do I trigger the parachutes at that point? Or do I trigger it at like an altitude? Do I wait for make the vessel velocity negative? So it's going to be an if, isn't it? If the vessel velocity is negative and altitude hits less than 5,000 meters, then stage and fire the parachute. In my dumb brain, that makes sense, because I think what this is saying is relative to the surface, what's the velocity? And I'm going to put -10 there. And then I'm going to put in vessel altitude, vessel flight, altitude is less than 5,000. I'm going to write this, look. I'm already a genius, I think, at this. I'm going to say stage equals vessel control activate next stage. Stage. If vessel surface velocity reference frame is less than 10, -10, and vessel flight altitude is less than 5,000, then I'm coming down and I've crossed the 5,000 meter mark. Then stage, and that fires the parachute. These two lines of code here. Jeb's life relies on those two lines of code, because that's the parachute code. If that doesn't work, Jeb's gonna die. But I think it's foolproof, and I know I'm very good at this, so I think I don't see any problems with that whatsoever. So then Jeb drifts lazily back down to the surface. You know, he chills out in the command module. He looks forward to maybe some lunch when he gets back to the VAB. Bit of a debrief. A few pats on the back for his brave flight. Not screaming at his imminent demise, no. Calmly floating back down. I think this might be it. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. Alright, we're going to launch this, and we're going to switch to Kerbal, and we're going to just see what the fuck happens. So, here we go. And it's broken immediately. Good. Type error float object is not callable. But that's what the magical machine elves are telling me to put in. If in doubt, just press the button again. Oh, look, the same outcome has happened. Who could have predicted that? Ahaha! Like, easy. Target pitch equals 90. Okay. That actually makes a lot of sense to my dumb head. I'm sure that will be the only issue that we run into now. I'm going to play, then we're going to switch over to Kerbal, and it's all going to work seamlessly. No. Line 12. Ah. Ha! It's the bit that Jeb's entire life relies on, has an error. Ah, vessel.thrust equals 0. Ah, that's clever. Okay, maybe that's what we do. If vessel dot flight dot thrust equals 0 equals double equals means is exactly 0. If thrust is 0 and altitude is less than 5,000, then stage. Here we go. This is, I feel good about this. Here we go. We're going for it. No. Oh, good. Okay. And once again, it's that very important bit of... It's a very important 2 lines. Oh. Okay. Vessel dot scroll down, thrust. Right, we're ready. I'm certain now. I'm certain. I feel terrified for Jeb, because I'm sure that when I hit this button now, Jeb will be at the mercy of physics. It's still not working. Vessel flight altitude less than 5,000. If I do flight double brackets, then it opens up all of these options, including things like, that's cool, atmosphere density, so I might be able to kind of map that later. And it's got all of that other stuff there, but it's got surface altitude. Surface altitude. That's what I want. Surface altitude is less than 5,000. Okay, fuck it, let's do it. Doesn't appear to be going. So it's run, activate next stage. Which is that. Autopilot engage. So alright, so it's stepping through this stuff. Vessel control, throttle equals 1, stage, vessel control, activate next stage. Then that? Oh, okay, it's going. Oh my goodness, it's going. It was a pair of brackets, that's all I needed. Okay, this is good. This is good. This is a good start. We've actually managed to fire the rocket. Can I do any science? Crew report. Yes. We're going to keep it because we're definitely going to survive. Okay, here's the test. So thrust is 0. Altitude is coming up on 5,000. We're doing nearly 500 meters a second. I'm concerned. I have a concern. Oh, Jeb. Here we go. The parachute has not triggered. Jeb. Jeb, I'm sorry. Well, I was not expecting to feel as bad as I actually genuinely do. As you can see, there's nothing left. There's not, it's gone. He is atoms. He's now atoms. Lift off. Death Trap 1 crashed into Kerbin. Jebediah Kerman was killed. Mark 16 parachute collided into the surface. Maybe it would have been better if the fucking parachute had not collided into the surface, but had in fact triggered instead. That would have been good. Who's next? Who's next on the chopping block? Man, I was really hoping Jeb would live. I had this vision that I was gonna do all of this without killing Jeb, but I have fallen at the very first hurdle. So what happened there? What happened there? Is it that the vessel thrust wasn't equal to 0? Mate, that looks like an awfully specific value. I wonder if it needs to be like less than, let's say, 1, rather than exactly 0. Let's see if this does any better. Let's see if this does any better. Oh, what the fuck? It's Jeb. It's because I reverted. Okay, alright, Jeb, you've had a reprieve. Don't get used to it. Being brought back from the dead. That ain't gonna happen. That's not something that's gonna happen. Alright, this time, buddy, you die, you're fucking staying dead. So, all I've done is I've changed vessel thrust. Vessel thrust less than 1. It was 0 equals 0, and I'm saying I don't think that's right. I think this is a float, and I think it's probably never equal to exactly 0. So I'm saying that if I put less than 1, then it will definitely be less than 1. Vessel flight surface altitude. Maybe we do that. I think possibly we need to do that a bit earlier, because I think that we were picking up some real speed there. So maybe it's 8,000. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Off he goes. Off he goes. Okay, okay, okay. Ah. Well, no, this isn't good either, because now... So, yeah, right. This isn't going to work, and the reason I know that is that we burned out of our rocket booster before we hit the 8,000 meter mark, and the parachute's not triggered. So at that point, the thrust would have been less than 1, because the rocket burnt out. The height was less than 8,000. But the parachute hasn't gone. We'll see what happens here, but I think that Jeb's reprieve from the cold, bony fingers of the Reaper is a temporary reprieve. I think he is going to be obliterated in a few short seconds. But we'll see. Here we come. 8,000. Nothing. Why? The icon's red. That means unsafe to deploy. Ah. Well, hello again, old friend. Highest altitude achieved, 23,589 meters. I'm just going to go mega conservative here. I'm going to say you've burnt out on thrust, and surface altitude is, why don't we say greater than 20,000? Because we should achieve that. I'm not going to revert, because now Jeb is dead permanently. So I'm going to go back to the Space Center. This is a concern, because that rocket will have cost money, I guess. It cost me 1,257 Kerbal bucks, and I've got 92,500 left. So eventually and soon I'm going to need to start with having some results. Okay, 1 Kerbal down. Who's next on the chopping block? Man, if I was as Valentina Kerman, if I was Valentina and I heard the lead of my space program refer to the rocket I was getting into as the chopping block, then I would not be very happy. I think I'd really be questioning whether the engineers had actually done anything to improve this. And Valentina, the answer is no, not really. After the death of brave Jeb, you would have thought full investigation, months of effort, hundreds of intelligent engineers working diligently to identify the problem. But actually what's happened is I've changed a number in a single line of code and just sort of hoped for the best. So we're going to go again. 3, 2, 1, go. Go. Alright, going up, going up, going up. Okay, thrust should be less than 1 now. So the question is, when we hit 2,000 meters, 20,000 meters, when we hit 20,000 meters, what happens? 18. 19. Here we go. Nothing. Oh dear. Valentina, you look absolutely terrified, and your terror is justified. It's happening again. Oh dear. 400. It's going to be 500, isn't it? Risky. Unsafe. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because Valentina, your time as an astronaut at the Stage Separation Anxiety Incorporated is about to come to an abrupt end. Thank you for your many weeks of service, and goodbye. My shareholders are not going to be happy about this. 2 Kerbals down. 2 Kerbals down. Their 2 Kerbals have died. And the reason they've died is testing the deployment of a simple parachute. I really feel like I could have used kind of a robotic probe of some sort for this, rather than literally killing Kerbals for it. Let's see. Rocketry, engineering. Decoupler. Oh, yes. Decoupler. Okay, rocketry. I'm not going to unlock anything yet because I feel like I have all the requisite parts to launch a rocket and fire a parachute, which ultimately is what I'm trying to do. Can I can reduce the amount of fuel in it. So I can do that so we don't get to quite such a high altitude. And as a result, we don't end up getting to like some kind of wild descent speed. A very small change that I could have made that would have saved lives, possibly. I think we're going to call it there. It's been, well, let's remind ourselves quickly. Let's just remind ourselves very quickly of what we've achieved. We've written some code that doesn't work. Current objective, send Jeb to space. Well, we went up to 23,000 meters, so objective failed. Primary objective. And then secondary objective, don't kill Jeb. Well, that is a hard fail because we killed him twice. It has not been a successful first outing. Nevertheless, lessons were learned. Some very rudimentary code was learned. Attempts were made. Attempts were disastrous. And the shareholders are going to be questioning what I'm really doing here. Who the hell is running this operation? There have been 2 deaths, no investigatory work, no detailed attempt to fix the problems. I'm sure there will be further improvements to come, and soon soon we will achieve the objective of sending a Kerbal into the unknown and returning them safely back to the surface. I know that moment's coming. It is simply a matter of how long will it take and how many must die in the pursuit of that goal. We will find out on the next episode. Thanks for watching. Fly safe.